What's going on, guys? I'm your host, Francis Beau, here to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on anything going on in the world of entertainment. And we are getting right down to the wire with 2017. 2017 is about to wrap up in the next few days, and I just want to do one more video for you guys, and that is, of course, the top 10 worst movies of 2017. I revealed in my last video my top 10 favorite films of 2017. Now we're going to get down with my top 10 worst of 2017. Now keep in mind, I have not watched every single movie that came out in 2017. That would include some really bad movies. For big bad movie that a lot of people saw and are probably going to have on their top 10 worst that I did not catch was 50 Shades Darker. Did not watch it, did not care to go see it. Not a fan of the 50 Shades of Grey franchise. I don't think anybody is, so just didn't have any care to go watch it. So if you're expecting that to be on the list, it's not on my list. So, um, yes, and I will be also be doing a top 10 most anticipated movies of 2018 list as well. So make sure you guys check out that video when it gets released, most likely on New Year's Day. So just want to let you guys know that if you guys are going to be asking, yes, there will be a top 10 most anticipated movies of 2018 list as well. And yeah, so no further ado, let's get down with the top 10 worst of 2017. Now keep in mind, this is all opinion based. Some of these movies you guys maybe have liked, and if you guys have liked some of these movies on your on my list, please let me know. But for me, these were the stinkers of 2017, the movies that I just could not get my head wrapped around. And well, let's get down with the list. So, let's start off with number 10. Number 10, this was a movie that I was actually kind of looking forward to, mainly because of the director behind it, and it seemed like it was going for a good approach for this type of story, but it ultimately was a huge failure, and that was King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. I know that a lot of people actually like this movie. I've heard from a lot of critics that some people really enjoy this movie. For me, it was a boring movie. I could not get my head wrapped around on anything. I think Charlie Hunnam did a decent job as King Arthur. I think that some of the directing style from Guy Ritchie was good, but ultimately the film was just boring, forgettable. I just could not remember too much that happens in the film. The budget was way high, way too high for this film. Was a complete box office bomb. Um, it's just as a movie, it's not memorable. There's nothing that really happens in the film, and for that's why it makes my top 10 list. Not because um, I the best way to say is that I don't hate King Arthur. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think that there are some good things to come to think of when watching King Arthur. Like for example, Charlie Hunnam as King Arthur I thought was good. Some of the directing was all right. But as it stands, it's a pretty forgettable movie. I forgot about it for a long time. I remember it came out in May, and I was just doing my top 10 list, and King Arthur came up, and I was just like, oh yeah, I remember that movie. I can't believe how much I forgot about that movie. And going back to revisiting it, I just did not care for it. I just thought it was just bland. There was nothing there that really grabbed me. It wasn't anything really super different. All there is just a few new monster-ish characters thrown into the mix, and yeah, it was all right. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, but I could really do about it because it's just there was nothing that really happened in King Arthur. So, um, yeah, King Arthur: The Legend of the Sword is my number 10, mainly because it's just a forgettable film, and there's nothing really there that's eye catchy or anything that's gonna make you remember that film. So that's my number 10. Number 9 is a film that I know a lot of people have higher on their list, even in their top 5 worst of the year. I didn't really hate this film, but I still could see it. I still watched it and told myself, yeah, while it wasn't super bad, it was still bad. And that was The Mummy. I know that a lot of people have this on their top 5 list of the worst of 2017, and I respectively understand that because The Mummy is a mess. It is a mess. It is not well organized. It's very cliche. But I don't think it was the worst thing in the world. I think that there have been worse movies that I saw this year, which you'll see later on in the list. But the Mummy, it was just, again, kind of like King Arthur. It was just bland. It was just nothing there that really grabbed me. The concept, kind of like King Arthur, the concept and the story is interesting, and it gets you interested to go to the theater and watch it. But when you watch the movie, it's just bland. There's nothing there, and it's kind of joyless. I mean, and Tom Cruise, I could see that he had some passion when doing the project, but they were also trying to do like kind of like what Batman vs Superman did, trying to set up this whole universe, and it just kind of fell flat on their face. And from what we've been hearing, the Dark Universe doesn't really seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. So the Mummy, again, not a terrible movie, but kind of like King Arthur, a pretty forgettable one and a very sloppy one too. All right, number eight. Number eight is gonna actually surprise some people because, um, and it surprised me as well because it's not. It's people were actually kind of praising this film when it came out, and I did not care for this film. I think you guys saw my review for this film, and you guys saw that I just disagreed totally with the critics, and that was 2017's version of Power Rangers. That is my number eight. I just could not get my head wrapped around this. I just could not. I thought that the concept of the Power Rangers is was okay. It's a cool it's a cool concept for the Power Rangers. You know, the story of the Power Rangers. Of, five teenagers. Becoming the Power Rangers. That's cool. Um, but the way they executed it in this film, I just thought was very poor. All the actors and actresses were okay. The direction was just very cliche. The thing that I hated so much about this movie, and I mentioned it in my review of the Power Rangers, is that I despised how they had to train their way to get the suits and not actually learn how to use the suits and build upon their characteristics there. I hated that. I hated how they did that. I hated that they have to like go through some like stupid training or something just to get the suits. Why not just give them the suits and then, well, while they're wearing the suits, they learn how to become Power Rangers with the suits on, not learning how to become like these warriors, blah blah blah. Who cares? We're not here to see that. We're here to see Power Rangers kick butt, and we do see that towards the end of the film. Towards the third act, you get to see some Power Rangers action, which is all cool and all, but it is a hard first and second act to get through. Um, they're just shoving like too much character stuff in your face, and honestly, I can really care less about any of these characters. The actors are fine. The people who play the Power Rangers are good. I think that they all did a fine job with their parts. It's just that I can care less about their characters. All I wanted to see was some Power Ranger action, and you do not get that until the very, very end. And I really did not care for this film. I thought it could have been a lot better, and it just fell flat on its face. Um, and from what I'm hearing, we're not getting a sequel. So, yeah, so that's my number eight. Number seven. This is a franchise that I liked to a point. I liked the first one. I did not like the second one. I actually, surprisingly, liked the third one, but I did not like the fourth one. And this is the fifth one in the franchise, and I gotta tell you, I think this is by far the worst in the franchise, and that is Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man Tell Tales. Yeah, you guys thought I was gonna say Transformers, huh? Don't worry, we're gonna get there. Um, Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man Tell Tales it's a cash cow. This is literally Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is literally just reaching for ideas up to this point. Um, Johnny Depp, like I said in my review of not Power Rangers, of the review of my review of Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man Tell Tales, everybody seems washed out. Nobody seems like they really care about being on set. They're just here to get a check and get out of here, especially from Johnny Depp. You can tell that Johnny Depp is just, doing a few things with like like I'm Captain Jack Sparrow, doing his thing, and then just leaving with a check full of money. Same thing with all the other actors and actresses. And are we gonna get a sixth one? Probably, because it did make a lot of money. But just they were trying to do like a Force Awakens thing, like saying like, oh, the Pirates franchise has not been around for a long time. When really it's only been gone for like what 5 or 6 years, which is nothing. So they were trying to do like this whole Force Awakens thing, like some big character in the franchise dies. They try to do like some Kylo Ren type of villain. Just stop. Pirates of the Caribbean, just stop. I think that a good stopping point for this franchise was the third movie. Um, the fourth one and fifth one are just super forgettable. The fifth one easily being the worst in the franchise, in my opinion. So that's number seven. Number six, this is to me the most forgettable film of the year. I've been saying that a lot with all these movies. King Arthur, The Mummy, Power Rangers. While they are forgettable, there are some things that we could kind of remember from those films, like certain actors, certain scenes, certain directors. But this film is the most forgettable film that I saw all year. This is the film that I just instantly forgot about the minute the credits rolled, and that was Death Note. Death Note was a Netflix film that came out, and it had Willem Dafoe. Um, what a forgettable movie! I mean, super forgettable. Nothing happens in this film. I mean, nothing happens in this film. It is also a very stupid plot. It's a very stupid plot. Nothing really happens in the movie. They make it feel like stuff's gonna happen, but nothing really happens in this movie at all. It's a very stupid concept, in my opinion. Um, I think that if this was done with a different director, it would have been a lot better. This was from the same guy who's giving you Godzilla versus King Kong, I believe. Adam Wingard, I think that's his name. Um, oh, not good, not good. Hopefully he does better with Godzilla versus King Kong. I think that's what he's directing. I think that's what he's attached to next. I could be totally wrong, but or is it? No, I think it is Godzilla versus King Kong. You guys, let me know. What is Adam Wingard attached to? I think it is a monster film with Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures. Let me know in the comment section below. But Death Note, just bad, just a bad movie. There was nothing that really happens in the film. All the actors were just bad. Nobody did good in this film. They were all cliche. It almost was like a student film at certain points. Willem Dafoe does a good job as the voice of that character. Again, I forgot about this movie the minute after I watched it. Um, just a dumb, forgettable film. It's just easily the most forgettable movie of the year. So yeah, that's Death Note. Now here's the top five. Here are the top five movies. The ones that I just think were just stinkers. Just stinkers. So here we go. Number five is Fist Fight. Fist Fight was a comedy with Ice Cube and Charlie Day, and oh, what a snooze this was. Fist Fight is, look, my dad actually liked this movie, and you know what? If you could find some love for this film, if you could find any love with any of these movies, good to you, because I can't find any joy with any of these movies. And Fist Fight is a prime example, because Fist Fight was a movie that I literally had to fake my reaction when watching, because the whole time the movie is just cookie cutter comedy. It is super, super cheap with its comedy. And Charlie Day and Ice Cube are a decent pair up, but it was not good. There was nothing there that made it special. There was nothing there that made it feel like a genuine comedy. Like, for example, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. That was a good comedy because it had some different jokes, it had some good humor, it had some good characters. Fistfight could have been like that, but it wasn't. It was bland. It was, in a way, humorless. It was just bad. It was a bad, bad comedy. And, wow, just really, really bad. Number four. This was a film that I didn't hate at first, but then thinking about it more, I realized how bad this film was. And realizing what wasted potential this film was, and that was Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. I think that this film had so much potential to be good because of the director behind it, the visual variety, all everything's there screamed good movie, but when you watch it, it was just so bland, so I don't know what other word to use, but it just didn't feel right. It was really really boring. Let me just say that right now. It was just a very very boring film. I found myself almost dozing off after almost well, like halfway through Valerian and the State Thousand Planets. I just kept looking at my clock, thinking, "Oh my God, we have like an hour left." Like, um, we can all agree the person who plays Valerian, Dane DeHaan, I think that's how you say his name. The guy who plays Goblin and the Green Goblin in the um, Amazing Spider-Man movies. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he like wrong casting. Should not have played Valerian. That was a miscasting. They should have put somebody else for that role. The girl was fine. I forgot her name, but she's the one who played Enchantress in Suicide Squad. Yeah, she was fine. But the person who played Valerian, the main character, did not work. No chemistry between the two characters. I felt nothing between these characters. Story, as I said, was super boring. I could care less about the story. I could care less about the environment that we're in. The CGI was good for the most part, but other than the visuals, story-wise, bad. Character-wise, bad. Acting-wise, cheap. And just all around, just a bland, boring film. And a film that is not going to get warranted a sequel or anything else. Um, it had so much potential, but it just fell flat. All right, number three. This film was originally number one. This film was originally number one, but I put it down to number three because two other films came out before after this, and number three is going to go to Baywatch. This film was stupid. This was a stupid comedy. And this could have been stupid fun. This could have easily have been a stupid fun comedy with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Zac Efron. This could have easily have been that, but it was not. It was completely stupid in its concept. The concept of Baywatch was just stupid. Like Baywatch itself is just a very stupid show in the first place. The way that they execute the story was just bad. The humor was bad. The jokes were just cringy at times. It just did not work. It was, I'll say it. It was just there to see girls in tight bikinis and such. That's really what Baywatch is all about. And look, they deliver in that regard. But everything else is just no. No one really acts out well in this film. Story wise, it's just whatever. Comedy is bad. This is easily the worst comedy of the year, in my opinion. Easily the worst. And I heard this was like Dwayne Johnson's like first produced movie, I think. Yeah, not a good start. Yeah, really, really bad. I would not be surprised if we heard a sequel to Baywatch. I would not be super surprised, actually. Um, Especially when you consider the company behind it, that's Paramount Pictures, because they need to make money because they have one franchise that makes money, but didn't make a whole lot of money for this particular sequel, and that is my number two, and that is Transformers: The Last Knight. This movie was completely stupid, and I knew it was going to be stupid when going in, but I did not realize how stupid this film was going to be. This film was absolutely stupid. Story did not make any sense. Characters were bland. They took a franchise that I love so much. You guys know me. I love Transformers. I love talking about the characters, the history. But the way that they executed in this film, it was just done horribly. Michael Bay needs to step down from directing these Transformers films. He needs to go back and do some other films that he's done in the like do some other small projects. Because Transformers is not for him. It is not for him. None of the actors, and I mean none of the actors, are really taking this film seriously. Mark Wahlberg is not taking this seriously. Anthony Hopkins is not at all taking this seriously, especially when you consider he says "dude" in the film. When Anthony Hopkins says "dude" in your movie, and he says it in that stupid way that Anthony Hopkins said it in The Last Night, that should tell you how serious the actors are taking this film. Laura Haddock was just there to be a model. And the girl was okay. Isabella Moner was the saving grace. That's what I'll say. She was the saving grace of this film. Other than that, completely stupid. The Transformers themselves were okay. Just walking junk piles for the most part. Um, just a bad movie. The worst Transformers movie, in my opinion. Yes, even worse than Age of Extinction and Revenge of the Fallen. The Last Night beats it. It is the worst Transformers film. Just bad. Hate it. Hate it so much. And my number one. Ooh, my number one. This is I think this is gonna be people's number one. Like if we were to have a roundtable discussion of what we think the number one worst movie of the year is, I think we can all agree that this is the worst of this year. Even from the first trailer, hell, even the first announcement of this film, we knew this was going to be terrible. We just didn't know how terrible, but it was beyond bad. And that was the Emoji Movie. Wow. um, Whoever thought that this was going to be... Who thought the emojis needed a movie? Who thought that? Who? Because, look, I don't care if you put that stupid statement for, oh, it's for kids. That doesn't work for me. Because this movie is insulting for kids because it is stupid. It is a stupid film. Nothing works in this film. The voice acting is terrible. The animation's okay. That's the only thing I'll say about the film that's okay. It's the animation. Story is bad. The looks of the characters is bad. The concept is terrible. Who wanted a movie about emojis? Nobody wanted a movie about emojis. It was just terrible, absolutely terrible. I was literally cringing anytime that the characters speak, or anytime like the worst scene in the movie was there's like this dance sequence that happens in the Emoji Movie, and it's just so bad. I literally had to pause. On my Blu-ray. Yes, I watched it from Redbox. I got it from Redbox. I didn't buy it off of Blu-ray or watch it in the theaters. I went to Redbox to watch this film, and God, that scene was so bad. It was trying to be like the Lego Movie. You can easily tell from watching the Emoji Movie that it was trying to be like the Lego Movie. The only problem is that the Lego Movie worked. The Lego Movie actually worked, and it's in the way it did. The Emoji Movie does not. It does not. It is terrible. It is a terrible movie, and nobody should watch this film. This film should not have even been made. It should have been direct to DVD. It should not have even come out in theaters. It was bad. It was just so bad. So, yeah, that is my top 10 worst 2017. Let me recap. Number 10, King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. Number 9, The Mummy. Number 8, Power Rangers. Number 7, Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell Tales. Number 6, Death Note. Number 5, Fist Fight. Number 4, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Number 3, Baywatch. Number 2, Transformers: The Last Night. And number 1, The Emoji Movie. And that is my top 10 worst of 2017. Again, it is all opinion based. We all have our own opinions on what we consider to be the worst of this year. And you guys let me know, what are your worst films of 2017? What were the worst movies that you saw this year? Let me know in the comment section below. And that's it for my top 10 worst of 2017 list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, as we end these videos, Beau out. See you next time. Peace. Catch you in 2018.